Okay, hello everybody. We're coming to you live from here at CES 2026, and today I'm joined by Augustin Friedel from MHP Consulting, a Porsche company specializing in the SDV consulting. So Augustin, we're meeting on one of the biggest tech stages that sets the scene for the year here in Vegas.
Yeah.
What are some of the trends that you're spotting this year?
Oh, for me, it's very exciting to be here and see the different trends that are basically facing or like shaping the automotive industry in 2025 and 26.
Yes.
It's all about AI. Yeah,
Yes.
so AI in the cockpit, AI for ADAS, but also AI in the development environment. And then another trend that we see in here also is like linked to smart cabins. So everything about how can we improve the in-cabin experience with new intelligence solutions linked to infotainment, linked to navigation and beyond. And besides that, it's also interesting to see then that automotive is moving more towards robotics and new revenue streams then as well to get more independent from the automotive business. So Jason, great to see that here is like very present at the CES with your booth, but also with like the advertisement all around the place. Mm-hmm. So what are the new things, the great stuff for the automotive industry that you brought to the show?
Sure, we have a big presence. As you can see, our stand is looking great, but we're very excited to continue our momentum from 2025 moving into 2026. So we made announcements around partnership with Lucid for EV navigation and the safety features, Hyundai for online navigation, and of course with Qualcomm for ADAS and autonomous driving, among many other things. From a demo standpoint, we're showing the entire SDV journey for customers with lifecycle enhancements from development, simulation, testing, all through to production to simplify that whole development lifecycle, drive TCO reduction and time to market acceleration. So speaking of software-defined vehicles, that's one of your main domains of expertise.
Yeah.
And you've conducted a lot of extensive research. You post on LinkedIn with fantastic infographics, pointing out, key partnerships seem to be critical to the SDV experience. So what are you seeing in terms of different areas of SDV development in 2026 and beyond?
Yeah. So you mentioned already, so partnerships and the power of partnerships is key. Mm-hmm. You mentioned it also that you are working with like Lucid and other players in the ecosystem like Qualcomm on delivering right solutions. Yeah. Yep. I think this mantra will stick also in 2026 and beyond. And I'm very excited to see that the automotive industry is now moving from this kind of enlightenment phase, so inspiration phase to the real execution. Okay. And that's what we see here at CES already with some players like BMW. I think it's also like a here customer for the mapping navigation solution, and also with others that it's now showtime. They need to bring the stuff to like the streets, to production, and in the hands of the customers. And this will continue in 2026 then as well. And on top of that, we might then see also new partnerships for new topics. Mm-hmm. So as mentioned at the beginning, AI. So all the different OEMs and suppliers are now figuring out how can we implement AI solutions in the cockpit. How can we also make the business cases that work? And this is only could be done through partnerships because all the topics are too complex that just one OEM or one supplier is like mastering everything. So they are like this kind of collaboration skills or knowledge, this will really become like a differentiator in 2026.
I fully agree. AI is definitely, we're showcasing that as well with our AI assistant, and it's a very, it's an AI choice that we provide customers. Yeah. We don't lock them into one AI part, but interesting.
And also my question to you, Jason, so how are you supporting this transformation of the automotive industry towards software-defined vehicles? And you might have heard it as well, like AI-defined vehicles, which might be the next iteration in there as well.
Yeah, great question. I mean, we see ourselves as a company that is really focused on helping our customers address the challenges that the SDV era is presenting them. And one of the key initiatives we've undertaken is the SDV Accelerator jointly with AWS to focus on virtualized development, testing, simulation, and of course deployment to production for the SDV era. And this is testing and validation that we can really streamline. The development cycles we can accelerate by a factor of up to 70% faster. Oh, wow. Simplified integration, we drive down TCO by about 30%, but testing we can do 7 times the testing. And in the era of SDV, quality is going to be critical. So this is what it unlocks.
Yeah.
I think the other thing is this broad ecosystem of curated integration points that really drive that simplification.
Yeah, okay. You made a great point with like the SDV accelerator, because we also need to leave this kind of like product-centric approach and also take into account like the development environment and the organization, which is basically the make or break then for the transformation. So it's great to see that here is active there, then also with the ecosystem to push that industry forward.
Sure. So looking forward to 2026, the year ahead, we've seen a lot of change in 2025. What are some of the significant trends, building on what you talked about earlier, that you see in the year ahead for automotive?
Yeah. I think one of the most significant changes we have seen in 2025 is basically the reduction of EV projects. So here in the US, but also we have the same discussion in Europe. China is pushing ahead on EVs, and this kind of like reshift to combustion engines is then like opening up new challenges for OEMs. So then like the ICE or combustion engine platforms also need to become like a software-defined vehicle. So basically this is definitely one trend to follow in 2026. How are the different OEMs in the US and in Europe basically enhancing their old platform with new digital solutions for ADAS and then also for IVI and everything beyond. So that's definitely one. One big topic will be also like autonomous driving. There also it depends with like, it's with different speeds in different regions. And in Europe, I think 2026 will be the year where we have like the real first level 4 pilots projects on the streets in London, also then in Munich, and like in other places as well. So that's basically the second big topic for 2026, where I'm very excited about, where the industry is very excited about how basically to bring level 4 autonomous on the street and then also scale it in the different regions.
I want to thank you for your time, Augustin. It's been great catching up on trends, getting the insights that you've able to distill from this CES so far. I look forward to catching up throughout the year, and so that we can share and discuss these further developments.
Likewise.
So thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon. Keep watching the Here LinkedIn page for upcoming news and updates.